out much more often.
Yeah. DZZ going for the Yasha next. Let's have a look at the other farm. Ghost. Got the Ghost Scepter, and he's got enough for his BKB now. One could argue, John, it is a bit of an early BKB to go for, but at the same time, you can't really blame him too much that the Astral from the OD is going to be very frustrating against him, as well as the ES stuns and the Tiny and all that. Maybe it is probably actually a lot of value in this game.
I feel like it really is. Getting that BKB early means that OD will not be able to down or steal your int as much. It also takes away a lot of the damage from the Shaker, as you mentioned, the Warlock, and especially the Tiny. The Tiny can't jump at the back and burst you before you regen back up, so it's a pretty good pickup.
Well, they're going to jump in mid. They are smoked up and they've got the lasso. Who have they caught? It is the Juggernaut, but the Golem drops with the Fatal Bonds, and it's going to be too much. Sin-Q's in the background as well. Here comes the spin from the Jugger straight after the Astral. Sin-Q in a bit of trouble right now, but where's the help? He's going to walk off. He's actually going to touch the Disruptor. Hyde will be alright. Meanwhile, Ghost is causing massive issues in the backlines. That's where everyone else is. Pie's actually going to drop to this Exorcism. He's trying to fight the best he can, but he's going down. So Ghost was the real problem for Team Serenity in that team fight. You know, you saw Sin-Q jump in after the Golem and Fatal Bonds and take the Disruptor out. In fact, not the Disruptor, it was the Bat Rider. But then there was no real follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, he blunked in, he took out the Elder Titan, and then the Disruptor fell towards the end of that fight. But that BKB is a real big problem, and that was the BKB reveal. And, you know, it's going to be very bad for Serenity the next few fights, especially if they don't get the jump on the DP. At the same time, as time goes on, that charge will drop down to 5 seconds, where it should be easier to manage.
Hold on a minute, did I say the Bat Rider died?
Yes.
Lol. Excuse me, the Elder Titan. My goodness. Anyway, moving on, John.
Yes.
They will make a rotation to the top lane. Looks like Serenity want to try and get a bit of revenge. There is Mian with a Blink Dagger now, and he does have the Echo available, which unfortunately for his sake was not available in the last team fight. Like, he had the Echo, he did not have the Blink. Perhaps that would have made a lot of a difference had they had the same setup with the Golem Bonds. But, well, you win some and you lose some, and he'll have it from now on. See what he can do about it.
Yeah, one thing in these team fights I want to note. Oh, looks like one thing in these team fights I want to note is that for a long time OD did not have a single level in Santi's Eclipse, so a lot of their potential is really held back by the fact that they're skilling pretty greedily for farming under course. I mean, Jug took a while to get the points into his Omni Slash. OD took a long while to put a point into Santi's Eclipse. But with those ultimates online, I feel like they can kind of press the issue now.
Well, they certainly are going to get started. Sin-Q has the Shadow Blade as well, and he's going to find Ghost. This could be a bit of a bait though, because Sep is there, but there's the Echo and the Toss Avalanche, and they just take him out. That's all they wanted. Now Mini will come in, understanding that's not available anymore, but Sin-Q's gone. He's still going to be able to find him. No Blink available. Now the Glimpse actually probably ruins it a bit, but they won't have to commit the Lasso. They will commit the Static Storm instead. And Sin-Q's still alive through all this. No help there. Where is it? He's still dead. Now the OD. The Golem dropped though. And the Fish. And all the stuns coming up from Mian. He's delaying this as much as he can. Now the Omni Slash comes in from ZZZ. Will he be able to get Shadow? It doesn't really look like it. He's still low, but there's not enough damage. Hyde would it back out, and Shadow is actually gone. My god. I mean, the combinations came out after Sin-Q dies. They finally had the Golem off cooldown. So they dropped the Golem, and then, you know, Mian understandably jumps in, uses the Enchant Totem and the Fisher. And although it wasn't no Echo Slam, it does the job, just keeping them in place and not allowing them to do anything. And then, of course, you see the follow-up Omni Slash from the Juggernaut doing a lot of work. And he'll just rotate back and go straight back to farming.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good fight to take for Team Serenity. They managed to, you know, burst down the Death Prophet before she can get her BKB off, which is really crucial. And DP's trying to fix that by picking up an Aeon Disc. I think that's a pretty good choice because that will stop the burst from taking her out immediately, give her enough time to maybe react with the BKB. So that's a good pickup for her. It's just that now you're stuck with a DP with 2 defensive items.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a bit... It's one of those things, right, where you just want to keep the DP alive, but you don't really know if that's a great idea. They actually find it though with the lasso, and the stomp comes in and he's dead. I mean, it was an interesting choice of him to make to try and move up to that jungle region. It's not like he was looking for a kill. He had no Omni Slash available. And at the same time, his jungle had creeps available as well. Why was he actually rotating to that section of the map?
It's pretty questionable. That does free up the Roshan for Team Eclipse, which they should take pretty quick.
With that exorcism, it isn't very hard to do so, like you mentioned. Shadow will take it for them. You know, this probably, like, I'm really questioning what that Juggernaut was just doing, because they may not have lost the Roshan had he not given his life away like that, but ZZZ, maybe a bit of a mistake from him. So they do end up getting some tier 2 tower pushing at the top and the tier 1 at the bottom. So they're getting some things out of this. At the very least, they haven't really killed off any of the towers. So I suppose they don't really get any trade.
Rather unfortunate. I feel like even if ZZZ was up, the Roche contest would have been very hard. They didn't have the Golem drop, they didn't have Santi's Eclipse. All they had was really Echo Slam, which could be enough with a good 5-man fatal bonds, but it's still a bit of a tall order when you lack a lot of your burst and control.
Yeah. It is not easy. That is fairly obvious. Well, there is going to be a smoke though, John. Team Serenity, they want to make something happen. Mian, he has the Echo Slam. The Omni Slash is available as well as the Sanity's Eclipse. We obviously have the Golem as well. And they're going to find a courier, but you don't want to take that right now because, oh, the Echo! He stayed up the hill, John. He blinked too short. Now they are going to be able to get mini, but did they just drop the Sanities for that? Well, Hyde's still going, and they get the lasso off. Now the Golem drops. It's pretty damn good. Mian, though, he's falling too low. The Omni comes in, but he's not really going to get anyone. Now Hyde comes in and tries to take out Ghost. He might just get it, though. The silence is not allowing him to use his Arcane Orb. Meanwhile, ZZ, he's going to be in trouble. He will spin up and try to get some kind of return kills, but he's down as well, and no one drops from Eclipse. John, what the hell was that?
That was just really bad play. There's no two ways around this one, Mike. I can't justify any of that movement. I can't justify any of the, ultimate usage. It looks like they didn't expect the smoke to pop. The Earthshake here at the ledge. The Echo Slam. Anyone, Mike. Santi's Eclipse was dropped here, thinking that the Batrider was here when he was down here. It doesn't make sense, Mike. It's just very sloppy play coming out from Team Serenity, and I'm just very surprised that, these two teams, they've both been playing well. Team Eclipse has been playing, rather well this game, but Team Serenity looks like they've been slacking off somewhat.
I mean, the Echo Slam was like, okay, he misjudged the blink distance. Okay, fine. Everyone does that sometimes, but the Sanities, I have no clue what was going on there. They are going to dive into Pi and then get the Yules off as well. So now he's stuck there. He's got a bit of help in XCG, or XCJ I should say, but he's not really going to be able to stick around. He just threw the Fatal Bonds and now he gets glimpsed. Now again, I'm going to question this, John, because XCJ, there's no way he could have helped there. And he stuck around to Fatal Bonds and gave Hyde the opportunity to get glimpsed up.
Yeah, it's Team Serenity is playing really questionably, Mike, and I'm really surprised. I mean, this is a very solid team. They're not playing to the same level as Eclipse is currently playing.
It's unusual, right? Like, they were playing fantastic yesterday, and today it's just not the same. I mean, Eclipse will take advantage of this. Like, it's not like this draft should be very abused by Serenity, but my goodness.
Yeah, they have the tools to really take the fights, but they haven't been using them well. They're gonna lose a T2. At the very least, the Aegis is still up for DP, it should expire fairly soon. But, you know, they're 10 kills behind, 3k in net worth, so it's not the worst in the world. In fact, you know, looking at the kill board and the net worth, it's actually not very bad for Team Serenity. It just feels like if they keep misplaying like this in their 5v5s, it's gonna go the way of Team Eclipse. There's no two ways. There's no way to fix bad communication, Mike. And if it keeps up this way, if they don't get their act together, Team Eclipse could probably just go away with this game. They definitely have to take a step back, you know, make sure they're all talking to each other properly, and calm down a bit, and get their nerves in order.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you. ZZZ's actually going to run into Shadow, but he is aware that Shadow will be around thanks to those illusions. Ghost still holding onto that Aegis. He has the Aeon Disc, and now he's going Scar. I mean, John, at this stage, like, the way things are going, it seems like Ghost is doing the right thing by just tanking up on Death Prophet. Like, there's no need to go anything else. It's just, he's perfectly fine with the Exorcism, apparently.
Yeah, it's really working out, and they're really punching the misplays from Team Serenity, and they're gonna go for a kill now, it looks like.
Well, XCG is the closest, but Shadow will walk the other way. They won't actually find anybody. So, Team Serenity, of course, by far still in this game, but they have fallen behind. You see ZZZ, his farm is way behind the Death Prophet now. The OD still only has the Blink Hurricane Pike at 30 minutes in, which the Blink Hurricane was up fairly early. Like, he hasn't really gotten any kind of item progression since then. Things have been somewhat weird for Serenity as of late, but we'll see if they can pull it back. You mentioned that though, it seems like the communication just dropped off somewhere. Somewhere along the line, it just disappeared. And they just have to get it back.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like one thing that they definitely need on one of their heroes is a Spirit Vessel. I mean, once you put that on the DP, a lot for, you know, regen goes away.
John, they've got the lasso on the Earthshaker, but the Omni Slash comes in and it's pretty good. Now the Golem as well, and the Earth Splitter, but the Static Storm has caught the Jugger. He tries to Manta out of it, but it's not going to be successful. And 2 down again from Serenity. It just looks too easy for Eclipse right now. I mean, that Omni Slash did nothing.
Yeah, it's looking rough.
I think he finds a return kill onto Ghost. So Ghost gets away a big kill there, but now they're going to go and fight this. Pie's going to go down as well. It looks like Pie will pick that one up. Shadow is trying to fight back. I don't know how the hell this Prophet just died to Sin-Q on his own. And Sin-Q might just die here now. He's going to get kited around. He misses the avalanche. Now Pie though comes in and he's hitting pretty hard. The Astral is there on the Dragon Knight. And Sep is going to need to help out here. The avalanche toss, not there. Just the toss and the stompers, again, beautiful from Sep. Sin-Q still wants it apparently. The Shadow Blade is available on the Dragon Knight and they will back off, but what kind of team fight was that?
It was super messy, Mike. They waste 2 ultimates in the Omni Slash and Warlock Golem, and neither of those are really short. The Omni Slash is shorter, but the Warlock Golem cooldown is really damn long, and they waste that straight off the bat. At the very least, they get the kill on the DP, so none of their towers are threatened, and that was really good timing from Sin-Q, I have to say. He goes in, and the DP, because there was a previous engagement, Aeon Disc was on cooldown, Mike, and that is a long cooldown on that Aeon Disc. It's 100 seconds. So once they know that, you know, that combo breaker is not going to be available, they can easily just go in and burst again. That's the opening Sin-Q needs to take out that DP.
I mean, that is a good point. You know, the Aeon Disc, like you mentioned, it was on the cooldown, so nice sort of pick up from Sin-Q, who really feels like he's keeping the team together at this point. He did go for that mid-game style, like, you know, the itemization is very mid-game orientated. So it's going to be rather hard for him to try and transition to late. They really are depending on their Jug to do so. But there's going to be a mid-push again. No Aegis up, but not necessary. Shadow will take care of that tier 2 with the DK. Question is now, do they keep going? The Exorcism is available. But it looks like they're going to rotate, and rather, the Roshan is about 2 minutes away. So Eclipse will have to leave that be for the time being. and maybe just wait up for that dragon form to be back. I suppose they'll just be happy with the tier 2 mid. And there is only one tier 2 left on the map for the side of Team Serenity, which is the bot one. So not too long left for Eclipse before they can start knocking on those tier 3 doors.
Yeah, but look at Team Serenity, Mike. They're smoked up, they're going to try to find a kill. Their cooldowns are all off, and they know this is kind of the opening they need.
Well, it is like you mentioned, they need it. Mind you, the only thing that's not available on the side of Eclipse is the dragon form, which does matter quite a lot. So they have to focus someone like the DP instead and take care of her, because she's going to be the main issue. Can they get in time though before that smoke runs out? Because it is going to run out, and it does. Looks like Mini will be able to scout them out soon anyway, and might even be able to set up a pick-off if they're not careful. I mean, I liked what they were doing with the smoke attempt, but it almost felt too obvious.
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, all things considered, Mike, you look at the scoreboard, 9-19, but the differential is still only 3k. It's really not too bad for Team Serenity. They are losing a lot of map control, however, and that is pretty worrisome, because, you know, the DP is still very strong at this point. The DK is as well. It's going to take a little more until they taper off, you know, until they peter off, and until then, it's going to be pretty scary to lose all your outer towers.
Well, they're going to go for a smoke of their own this time on the side of Eclipse. Who will they find first? But XCG and the Earthshaker, both the probably primary pickoffs to get. They will go after the Earthshaker, so Mini, well, they jump in. Now the Golem was dropped, but it wasn't that great. The Astral Imprisonment, though, was pretty good. Juggernaut coughing a lot of damage, and it looks like he's just going to drop. The spin is there, but he's not going to survive that. And now, Shadow, who are they going for next? Looks like SinQ is there. And again, a very awkward team fight. They're currently chasing the OD right now. He is Spirit Cycled up and will end up dropping. Meanwhile, they're still trying to chase the DK, but the Force Staff was perfect. Now Mini goes in with the Flame Break, and it looks like Mian's going down as well. Then the glimpse from Hidish. And I tell you what, John, the coordination here from Eclipse is just perfect. Like, they all know what they're doing. You know, Mini's going after the Earthshaker. You know, the Disruptor says, screw that, I'm gonna go get the Tiny and bring him back, so he's there after you guys have, you know, finished off Mian. It's just perfection right there.
Absolutely, yes, their coordination is on point, and again, Team Serenity looks very lost, Mike. I mean, they managed to save the Earthshaker initially with the Astral. He blinks out, Tiny's in the back line, they kill off the Elder Titan, but for some reason, in that entire fight, with 3 heroes clumped up here, 3 to 4 heroes clumped up, there was no Echo Slam. They didn't use the Slam, they didn't use the Hammer. The only ultimate they really used was the Warlock Golem, and there's something really odd with Team Serenity's coordination right now, Mike. And, you know, Eclipse has been on point.
Yeah, they're really abusing the fact, like, they know that something's wrong. They will all back off. Then they're not going to overextend here. I mean, they've got the Roshan to take as well, John. With no Dragon Form or Exorcism, there's no need to rush. And once the Aegis is there, I mean, it almost seems too easy for them to take a tier 3. They will back off and continue farming. Looks like the DK, he will try to go for the MKB, so Shadow farming for that. There will be another smoke though from the side of Serenity. The Spirit looking for them right now. Again, they're not finding anyone.
I think, you know, Eclipse probably noticed the ward suddenly appearing here, because they had a sentry obs, I believe, or at the very least a sentry somewhere nearby. So when they dropped the wards, it was actually seen on the minimap, so they knew the rotation was coming in.
Well, that's very unfortunate, but again, it's kind of like probably not the best time to place a ward if you want to kill. And, well, they're going to go take the Roshan. SinQ does want to fight this, and I guess the pit is good for Serenity, but they lasso him up. And now the Static Storm as well. SinQ. Now it looks like Ghost will roll straight in with the Exorcism and Pi. He asks the Astral himself, but they're just going to go for the Warlock now. And there's going to be no Golden Drop available, and he's gone. Meanwhile, the OD's left alone. And they're just going to forget the Roshan. Like, why the hell go for the Rosh when you can just get the Rax?
Yeah, and I don't see any good defense coming out from Team Serenity. I mean, they'd have to buy back an OD, but he's really saving it up.
SinQ just got picked off way too easy. Like, where was the team? Just, there was no follow-up, John. The Echo Slam was available, but the Earthshaker was nowhere to be seen. The Omni Slash available, again, nowhere to be seen. The Warlock had the Golem, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, it's really painful to see teams play like this. It's not that, you know, I don't like Eclipse playing well. I mean, they've been playing really well, but it's really painful to see a team just have all these opportunities, just absolutely waste them. You know, when a team fight, when that beautiful magical wombo combo can't come off, not because they're being jumped one by one, or not because, you know, they're being outplayed at a certain point. It just looks like he's just very lost.
There's nothing else to say on top of that, John. You're correct. I mean, there's nothing else. There's no other point to make. It's just, I mean, look, Eclipse will go back to farming, and they've almost got an Octarine core onto Ghost now. But I don't know what Team Serenity they can pull this back as well. It's just that it's not the heroes that are the problem. It looks like Mini will go in again trying to fight a pickoff. Gonna find ZZZ, but they're ready for this time. Spirit comes in as well. Looks like Mian is finally on the front lines. He realizes he has to initiate for the team. But again, Eclipse back off safely. No smokes available on them right now, but they don't really seem to mind either. That Roshan will be the next target. Nope. Both teams will just passively back off for the time being, and I think Team Serenity, like, they need the space to farm. There's no real necessity for them to force these team fights. But on the other end of the spectrum, like, they're not hitting that hard either. Like, Jug is not, he's Omni Slashing and it's doing nothing. Look at the OD. Yeah. He's not really able to sit there calmly right-clicking people because they're never letting him. Now the Roshan's being taken. Again, if they jump in with the Golem Echo with the Fatal Bonds, this might make all the difference. Can they get off? Sinky goes in first again, and they're just going to go straight after him. The lasso's there. The silence on the backlines from Ghost, and they're just getting ripped apart. Omni Slash, and they do get Hyde on the Disruptor, but it doesn't look like the side of Eclipse are going to really care. Mian is going to be chased up right now. The Sticky Napalm is there with the Cyclone. Ghost, and he's just going to take care of him. Triple kill for Ghost. They are chasing ZZ right now. John, I don't understand. Why are they not going in with somebody else? Why are they forcing Sin-Q to go in first?
I wish I could explain why. I mean, not only that, Sin-Q walks in, he doesn't blink in, he walks in, and then he can't do the toss. He gets lassoed up, the backline gets silenced, so the Warlock follow-up's not there. And then Yogi's forced to, you know, just Hurricane Pike down, not steal any int, not build up for that hammer drop, and I don't know, Mike.
Well, we move on again, John. The tier 2 was pushed in by the OD. They do get Tau, so Pi, nice little play from him. But Ghost has got that 4 Octarine core now. Pi is trying to go for a Hex, and that is a pretty darn big item to get. It will help quite a lot with his team. But it's going to take a long time. He doesn't really have any gold for it. He did, however, pick up the Lincoln, so at the very least he can't get lassoed anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's reaching that point where you should be seeing Team Serenity pick up the pace for their heroes, but they're not there with the farm. I mean, when the Batrider is out farming the OD and Tiny, there are issues. That's a big sign.
Well, it looks like the mid lane is going to be pushed in now. By the side of Eclipse. And the T3 will go down fairly easily. The racks will be exposed. Exorcism is also available. Well, this would be a fairly easy one at that as well. The side of Team Serenity were not really ready for this. The second racks will go down, and I do wonder whether they're willing to fight, but the exorcism, of course, being up. There's a lasso. Who have they caught? It is the Juggernaut, and he's going to go down very quickly. Now, in fact, it was an Astral. He's still alive, but he should come down when he dies. No, he is now. Meanwhile, they are chasing Mian, and he looks to be dead as well. Though Sinkyu comes in, he will get Hyde. Mian also drops, meanwhile, and they are typing the fountain right now. Ghost will return, and they're going to take down Sinkyu. Sinkyu will man-fight all these, and Avalanche toughs combo, but they just can't kill Ghost, and Sinkyu will be gone. The tier 3 top. In fact, they're going after Pi right now as well. So one by one they go in. The golem has finally dropped, and it looks like they will find the kill to Pi, and that's a dieback on him. Sinkyu, meanwhile, trying to fight again. This is going to be another dieback, and I think this is a GG well played, and it is. They call it, and 12 to 34. I mean, it looked like a strong start from Serenity, but plays, and then the Eclipse just took over.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 12 to 4, 26k lead. Eclipse played absolutely perfect